3 days workshop, right? Today is the third day. So it will take some more time because we have to do background, and plus I'm doing this one. Plus I have to explain you a lot of things, right? So have some patience, and then of course I will be sharing recording with you. Okay, still. Anyone, Sybil or anyone, you can message inside our oil pastel group. If anyone is joining, they can join because I have not informed there. Sybil, please inform that we are starting oil pastel session. I just informed this group, workshop group, but I forgot to inform inside our group oil pastels. Right, so these are the colors I have, and now let's start. So first of all, let's start from the center part again, because how we did, we started with this area, then we focus on this area, then again we did few layers, and then again we did another layer. Same way we'll start again. Okay, we'll start from the center part. Now we are going to put more crisp details and final touches here. I will also show you the scratching technique today, so that will also be exciting. And then we'll slowly go out and try to add more and more values. Where it is like needed more highlights, we'll add more highlights. Okay, so this is what we are going to do today. I'm just looking for my reference image. Okay. So we'll start with the center part. Now you see what is there in the center part. Can you see the black dots first? Okay, so you don't have to do any blending, just put dots nicely. Okay, so I will pick my black, and if you think this is tiny, I can't put that dot. So what you can do, let me get a plain paper. Okay, I have this. What I can do, just peel the back side of your pastel. I always say peel the back side of pastels if you want thin tiny lines. See, if I want to add these type of tiny line, it's possible. I can do with pastels, and this is part of training that we do when we start our training, oil pastel training, right? So you have to practice this, how to create thin lines with oil pastels. So if initially you are not able to do, so you just practice with back side. Once that you master this thing, you can do even with the broad pastel from this side. Okay, so you can easily create those thin lines with broad pastel also. You just need to work on the technique. Now what I'm saying, wherever you see the dots, you just add these tiny dots, and nothing should be perfect. If you are trying to add these kind of proper dots, it will look very unrealistic because nature is imperfect, right? And so don't try to do same size dots. You can do uneven, and sometimes it's just messy. Few lines, strokes, few dots here. And you keep in mind that I am not only talking about this flower. This will implement in anything. Okay, whatever projects you are doing, this will implement in anything. So you do the messy strokes. Sometimes you can just connect those strokes. Here, like this way, you add one small dot or line, and then you connect it. See, this way. This is also you have to practice. So what I did, I did one line, okay, a dot, which is like, I can say, small broken line, and then you put some tiny dots, so it should be imperfect. If you are doing, if you want to be a, if you want your works to be professional, so first thing is, don't do these type of lines. This is not professional at all. What you have to do in professionalism, I'm guiding you because I'm a fine art student, so I'm guiding you what we do as a fine art artist, right? We look for these type of lines, or even if it is not perfect, we look for these. Even if it is broken line, then also fine. But instead of doing these kind of holding your hand tight and just trying to do these kind of line slowly, this is completely beginner. You have to do one confident line this way. Okay, so these are the exercise that will help you. It's kind of warm-up exercise for your wrist, for your entire arm. Okay, but for now I just want to share this thing. This is what I'm going to do in the center part. Okay, so let's do same thing, although I have already added, but we need to refine it more. Okay, I'll just adjust the brightness, and then see with the back side of pastel I will add more depth. No need to blend, nothing, just put that stroke there. And I'm done. Then I'm going to pick another color. See, I don't have brown right now, so what I can do, I can just use the back side of red pastel. So let's make it red. So same thing I'll do. Tiny lines this way, uneven line, imperfect lines, and you do these kind of, I'll show you here what I'm doing. See, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Okay. So, and then we have these pollens here. So make it uneven. I told you that you don't need to be working on same thing. Don't bring repetition. Try to get something different. Okay. Same here. This line, this way. Somewhere it can be more, somewhere it can be less. No perfection. And once I have done red, so on top of red I can use this yellow to make it orangish kind of tone. So just close to this dot, red dot, I can add yellow. Just close to that. I will show you here. This is a red dot, and close to red dot you add some yellow. So half you can cover with yellow. What I did, I'll show you again. See, this is, I added red dot first, okay, and then close to red dot, or you just half of the red dot you can cover this way. Okay, so it will add some interest, or you can cover half of the that red part. Same thing we'll do here, but right now maybe you don't have that much control to work with broad side, so you can use your back side of pastel. Okay, so on top of red randomly here and there we are adding yellow. Only few, like if you added 10 times red, you add only 3 or 4 times um, yellow on top. Okay, not too much. And then little bit I want more touch of red, so see how I'm going with my light hand. Now center part we have done. Instead of focusing on center part, it's better to go out now, right? So wherever you feel like it's more of pinkish kind of touches or purplish kind of touch, you just add there. So I see that I can add here more interest, even if it is not there, but I want my reference image to look really good. Sorry, this painting. So wherever, because I'm going to blend this. Okay, so this will be part of shade. Here also. Okay, I think I'm done with the pinkish tone. This will go much lighter. Okay, so don't think it's looking too dark. No, we are going to fix it. And then I will pick my lighter, or still I'm working on shades, so I can pick my darker color. If you don't want to pick too dark, you are thinking like I will not able to fix it, so look for something lighter, but it should be darker than your first one. So let's say base you have used this color, okay, this cerulean blue or teal blue, any light, so pick something darker than this color. So I'm going to, instead of this one, this is quite dark, right, and you will not able to manage it. So instead of picking this one, I can switch to this one. Now I'm not scared in this case because it is not too much of dark, but I accidentally, if I put too much of dark, then it will be difficult for you to fix. Although we can fix anything with oil pastels, no problem at all, but the thing is, right now initially it's better to look for something easy option. Okay, so I will pick this one. So this color is I think it says light blue. You can also pick your cobalt blue if you have. I have cobalt blue, but I don't know where it is right now. So I'm going to work with same. Or ultramarine blue, you must be having ultramarine blue in your set. It will be the wonderful shade if you have. Let me see in my set. Okay, cobalt, I have. Okay, I have this ultramarine. You must be having this color, ultramarine blue. If you don't have, no problem at all. Whatever you have, you pick that color. Okay. So I'm going to work on shades. Now, not too much of color. I told you that you have to work with the light hand. So on top of pinkish tone, I am also working with this color. You work petal by petal. So pick something where you can see that most of the area you have added. Now we are refining those areas. So here I can see one dark. We call it shade. It's not line. Okay. This is not line. This is shade. Why it is shade? I will show you. See, we don't do lines. What we do shadings this way. Somewhere shade will be more, somewhere shade will be less. And if you do this way, this is pure line and it's a big mistake. So you apply shade. Somewhere it's more, somewhere it's quite less, somewhere it's more less. This way. Light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. This is shade. Okay, so we don't call it line. And you follow the drawing, how that shape is looking. Just look for the lines, how lines are moving, how much curve it is, how much flat is areas that see here. I'm guiding you here. You have to look for these lines. Even if your drawing is not visible, we don't need drawings, okay? Just follow how that shape is looking and gently add this way. So here, this will going to define my petal. See how I'm adding. Now wherever it is required, you just add in that area. Like here, this area, I can add. So even if you add few dots or dashes this way, it will make a lot of difference. So I'm not completely adding a line. I'm just adding one dot here, one dot here, or maybe a small line here. This will going to define. And then with finger we slowly dab it to reduce the intensity of that line, because we don't want sharpness. Sharpness, we can work on sharpness at the end when we do only 1% of painting. That time we add sharpness. Okay. So this is how we have to look for lines. Even if your drawing is not perfect, you can't see the drawing, so nothing to worry. You just follow the shapes, you follow the shade, and you can see how I'm doing. I'm not focusing on the lines or drawing. I'm just following the whatever is visible. So this way we have to see petal by petal. Now keep checking the entire flower, where you can only focus on the darker value and just follow that. Now here this part, my drawing is completely disturbed. So we don't say disturb, but we applied multiple layers, so automatically it will go away, right? But then what works? Only following these lines, shapes, this will work. See, somewhere I'm just adding these kind of dots, broken lines. You don't have to define it properly. So right now we are just applying color. We are not blending, we are not layering, nothing. Only applying some color so that it defines petals more and more. Here was one petal which is not visible right now. So I can give that shape. And even you can change the shape. No problem. It should look good. That's it. Here. Do it nicely. You don't have to see me what I'm doing here. Just see your reference image and see where are the crisp lines, shadows you add there. If you think there is a shade, so you add very light shade. And move in the direction of form. It is very important. Wherever you see the movement of petal, you add in that direction. And now this darker shade I'm going to blend with my lighter color again. Okay, so we don't need this much darkness, but we can, instead of, there are two ways. Like if you want the darker shade this way, you can simply blend with your finger. this is also option. But if you blend with your another pastel on top, or just apply the another shade, so what will happen, your shade will not too strong, okay, it will still be silent. So on top of this color, ultramarine blue, I will go and add this color again, cerulean blue or light blue, whatever you are using, and roughly. Again, we don't have to do it nicely, perfectly. Don't try to cover every area. Keep it imperfect. Somewhere it can be ultramarine blue, somewhere it can be mix of both the colors. I'm not trying to cover every part, just randomly. So we are just putting color, roughly. Be messy, okay? Don't get scared to apply colors. You have to enjoy the process. Make sure your fingers are clean. And then again, I am going to blend this area with, either you can do it with yellow. Let's make this yellow more popping, okay? So I will blend this reddish tone, not the center part, but the area around where we have applied this color. Let's slowly blend with this yellow. Not completely, but only I'm trying to cover this area. Okay, this area. Let's make it more tempting. And once you have done with yellow, pick your white color, because not every part is looking like same. There is a variety. Variety is very, very important when you are working on realism. So I am going to randomly apply some of the areas. I'm going to add white on top. Because I don't want that yellow to look like same everywhere. And the rest reddish part we can add white, okay, this part. So wherever we have added this reddish kind of tone, we can add white on top. And always clean your pastels when you are working on lighter areas. And now we'll slowly blend with finger, or you can blend with your blending stumps. and go from inside to outside, not from outside to inside. That way your values will get darker. So always go from inside and then move outside. And again clean your finger and again go from inside to outside. Only blend the center part, not other areas. And now let's clean these areas. So we are moving towards the final details and touches. So let's clean the area from inside to outside. Okay, you can pick your again same color and start seeing those value. Same thing, just see the shade, how the shade is moving from inside to outside. And if it is looking like dirty or dull tone, so we'll add more white on top. Just by adding few lines, dots, this will make a difference. So I have not done much here. Let's come outside part and with finger you can blend wherever you have applied that color, shade color, you blend that color. And you can slowly enter into white. Now we are working on how to bring everything together. Everything here is looking like line sitting on top. Okay, so we have to make it as a part of a subject. So just blend and make sure when one shade is moving to another shade, it should be nicely blended. So where you have switched the color, it should not be visible. So little bit I'm dabbing and dragging. See here it's looking too much of dark color, right? No worries, we will fix it. It happens. Many times you will feel like, oh, it went dark. But it's supposed to be dark, then only it will go lighter. But when you will not put the color, how you are going to make it light, right? So we have white only for this reason that you put the colors first, darker color, and then you reduce the opacity of those colors. And these small areas you can use always these blending stumps. Use the flat part of blending stump to fix this, but I am expecting that maybe few of you not having this blending stumps, so I'm just working with finger, but you can also use this way. Earbud we all have, right? We all can use and blend these tiny area, and don't blend every area. Few you have to keep it like crisp add one dot or line so that it can define the area. Now here this is what I say. See, I added this darker shade here and I added lighter shade here. But can you see the line here? I don't like this line. This line should be more soft. So what I'll do with my finger, I will go on top of this line and gently smudge it. And now it is not disturbing me, it's blurry. Same way, we'll focus on other areas. Just check if there is any sharp line. I'm not smudging all the area, but only few areas where I applied like a shade, only that area I can smudge. And don't press too hard, otherwise you will see your color will come off. White plays a very important role. Without white, nothing is possible. Just gently blend that color. No need to press hard, otherwise you will be disturbing base layers, right? So every time you should do it with gentle hand. Now it's time to work with white. We have applied darker tones here. Pick your white color and make sure this is fresh. If you feel that white is not working on top, what you can do, you can leave your piece for one day. Okay, don't work on it. Come next day and again apply white. You will get the bright white because your base color will be dry. Okay, so this is very important. If you feel like it's not working, just leave it. Leave it for some time. And now see how with white I will show you one area so that you get idea what I am doing. See, now we have to look for these kind of details. So you can use the back side of pastels and try to add these tiny details which I can see in some of the areas. Don't add too much, and once you add this way, then again with your finger you smudge it, because when you smudge it, it becomes the part of subject, and when you keep it this way, then it looks like it's sitting on top. You add this way. So how I'm going to add lighter value here where it is looking quite dark. See, gently on top this way without disturbing the base layers. This way, and then with my finger gently smudge it, and it will become lighter. No need to disturb the base layer. And close to this I can see here, if I add the white kind of tones, it will look more good. Now from top I can go from lighter value to darker value. Never go from never go from darker to lighter value. It will not make sense. Always enter from lighter to darker. This way. Now if I want to define this petal, just see what is around, what type of values are there around. So here I can see, if I add some white in this area, I can easily focus on this petal, right? So I am focusing on the outer area of that surrounding. So if I only talk about this petal, so just see what is around, what kind of values are here. Like here I can see it's quite bright. If you check your reference image, it's quite bright. So from outer I added that brightness. Only in that area. Okay. So this way we can put more and more focus where you want. And now it is looking like a one patch. There is not much difference. But I have only white. With white, what I can do, right? So on top of these petals, somewhere I can go with white, and we can change the shade of that area. See, I applied on top without disturbing the base layers. Right? And then make sure your finger is always clean. Always have plenty of tissue paper. Okay, Priya. And then I can smudge this way. I'm going from inside to outside. And if it is looking like you added a lot of white, so same thing we can do. Just go with any blue color on top, and you can again blend it, and it will become less highlighted. Okay, Ananya. Like here, this part, I feel like it should be more variety. So it is looking like dark. I can again go with white here with lighter hand, not putting much pressure. Just I want to reduce the value. only in this part, and then smudge it. So still shade is there, but this shade is little bit lighter than other shades. This is part of shadow, but here I applied more white, so it looks like here shade is lighter. Okay, and if your shade gets more lighter, what you have to do, pick the same color. So you have to see if the value is looking dark, so you fix it, you apply white. If you feel value is looking too light, you apply again same color. So see, I applied again on top this way, and then again with gentle hand. Now be gentle, more and more gentle, because we are building layers. Okay, and still I want to define this area more, so I am adding more white. White will help you to finish your entire painting, because we only reduce the value with white. See how I am dabbing gently. Here I can add more lighter tones, so I can again go on top randomly, see, and it will also look part of a detail. You randomly add this way. What I will show you here separately, what we can do, we can just see, we can do this way, so this will also look like a part of detail on top. Okay, this will do at the end. Mostly first we are working on lighter values. Darker values we are done, only adding lighter values. Okay, so here wherever you see it's looking like bright tone, you add that. This petal is also looking quite bright, and especially this side, the corner part, it's looking quite bright. So I'm only adding here this area. Same way we'll see other areas. I can see one bright light line this way, so I can add that line. And now go on top of this line and make it blurry, soft. Then here, so now I am only following those areas where I see it's bright light. Also leave some undertones randomly. Okay. And if initially you are feeling like I'm not getting the same result, so no problem. I have not got this result in one day. It took me some practice, but this is the way. And now I'm only showing you one technique here, but there are multiple ways to work with oil pastels. We also use oil, we use brushes, we also use a combination of watercolor. We use watercolor and oil pastels. That is also a technique, and we get different results with that. See, and roughly add these kind of lines. For this blending part, we just need some practice, one or two times, or like few times. We only need to learn the blending part. And now let's work on this area. It is looking like a patch. So here I will, with light hand, I will add white on top, only in this area. And then with finger, you can go this way and shade will be changed. See, wherever you want to add more focus, you add more white. We only have white option here right now because we are working with limited colors. Otherwise, we use a lot of different light tones. So I'm breaking this big patch. Now if I have to focus on this petal, I have to show this petal. What I have to do, I have to either this should be dark or this should be dark. Then only one petal will be visible. Now if I want focus here, I can make outer part lighter. So I am just going to put this way from outside, and see, this petal will be visible more. And we are still not done. We have to add final details. So this is still we are working on lighter tones. And again we can go on top and add these lines again. So it will happen when you smudge it, few values will again go lighter, then again you will add. So once again with your finger you gently blend all the areas, soften all the areas. Because now it's time to add crisp lines on top. So before that I will make sure that the every area is nicely smooth, there is no sharp edge. We can do a lot, but I have to finish on time. This area still look quite dark to me, so I will make it light. Add the value and then you reduce the value. So if any area looks dark, you can do same way. Add the white tone and then smudge it. Value will get lighter. And now I'm going to pick my darker color. And this darker color I'm only going to apply in that area where it is looking like a dark line, only in that area. So this will be just you can say 1%. So I'm just adding this color to only 1% area. That means just adding few dots, dashes. You can use the back side of pastel if you're not comfortable. See, just adding. This will add some details in petals, or you will able to see that area more. And like here, this petal, there is nothing, no interest. So I can just add one dark dash here or dot here. See, this way it will start looking like more defined. So randomly only 1% we have to do this, just to create the break. Even if it is not there, then also you can add. See, this way I can define the areas more. Where light is bright, don't add there. Otherwise, because if any area is bright, it's not possible that area will be dark. Okay? So you don't put in these lighter areas. Only put where shade is visible. I'll show you full. and then yellow looks more strong. So I'm going to go with my yellow, and I can put here more yellow. So you will get the sense when you actually keep working on your piece. Then you will get, oh, yellow should be more here. And it is not like that you don't know or it's a mistake. No, it you get that sense slowly. You can also slowly add some red. I'm dabbing this area. And there is a bottom part. I can also see some green. If you want to add, you can. If you don't want, it's okay. Otherwise you will mess up in starting, so it's okay to leave that area. But what I can do, as I'm using the soft pastel, so I can go on top of black with white. It is possible with mungyo because mungyo is quite soft. So I recommend, if you want to work on realistic paintings, you can go with this mungyo oil pastels. We can extend some of this yellow here so that it look like a rhythm. Oh, I don't like it, this one, so I can fix the shade by adding white on top, slowly and gently, and then blend the shade. Okay, and if anything goes wrong, we can fix it easily. We have one more option, I can show you that. See, you have earbud and you don't want to put too much of color. So what you can do, you can just rub your pastel on your earbud or a blending stump, and you slowly go with that area wherever you want to add. And that is also, this is also your tool. Okay, so we learn how to make our own tools. Especially in professional one, we do a lot of experiments and we create these type of things. See, so without worrying that I will accidentally put too much of color, you can like here I want to add very light touch of pink. Okay, even the shadow is like pinkish. So what I can do, I can just go, because I already have pigment, I can go with this one and I can add. Like here, if I want to add some shade, here I can't see this kind of line, so let's again go with white. And I'm going to use very less white on top just to reduce the opacity of that color, that darkness, because it is not this strong. Okay, and then I can blend with finger, or you can use a blending stump, earbud, anything. And see how we have made that line lighter. Okay, Pooja. background will do quickly. Right, so let's the area where you applied that darker color, still you can go with your finger and just dab it. Don't smudge it. Because when we dab it, it becomes a part of that subject. I told you multiple times. Okay, so I just go and dab it. Right, now what I'll do, I can go with still I can put more and more focus here, in this part, but then again it will take a lot of time to fix. Okay, so I'll see this later, and let's focus on some other areas. So for white, the background, what I can do, I can make sure first of all your pastel is clean. So we don't have much option. I'm going to use yellow, and you use the back side of yellow, or you can do just keep a gap between your white surface and your yellow flower, this blue flower, otherwise you will mess with the clean lines. So only keep some distance. This we are going to do with a blending stamp. Okay, so always stay away from the edges part or boundaries part, and even accidentally your work is out of these lines, no worries, we can fix from negative space. So I will quickly cover this area. We go layer by layer, but due to time issue, stay away from these lines. You can use medium pressure. Because background is flat, there is no 3D background, so I can put a flat tone. Okay, so I will only show you this much part, rest I will finish it later. You have to be super careful when you are working around the edges. Again, go with another layer because this is not enough. You go slow. And then I have white. So simply I'm going to reduce the this color opacity. If you feel like adding background, you can. If you don't want to add, it's your choice. And if you want more brightness or lightest kind of yellow. So wait for one day. It will not happen right now because colors are fresh. Let it dry and then you can come next day and you can again add white on top. It will work nicely. So I will, with my finger, clean finger, I can go and this way I can smudge the area. And the edges part, these area, I can blend with blending stump. So still I will be staying away from those areas. Still it's quite bright, so right now it will not be possible to put more light color on top. For this I have to wait for another day. Okay, because you can see uneven white. And once you have done this one, oh, it's quite bright, I know. See, this is the real thing, and then we again go with white in a small circular motion. Now you go part by part without disturbing that area, and you try to clean the edges. And now you can define the petal from outside if you want any twists and turns, any lines you want. You can do it nicely and take your time. See? And then again you can go with white. Then you have to go in a small circular motion to cover the area nicely. Same way from your top section. Okay, so this is not done yet. It's supposed to go much lighter, but right now that light will not be possible. Why? Because this is soft. This area is soft, and if I try to put more white on top, it will not give me much results, right? So we have to wait for one day, and I will show you in by just working in one area. I will show you how it will look. So you can't work fast, but you have to go in a small circular motions. See this way, this much lighter it should be. So we want our lightest touches of yellow. If you want to add background, you can. If you don't like, you leave it. See, this way. And then with your clean finger, you go and smudge. And smudging, you have to do it nicely. Pick small area and then do it. It should be this much lighter. And so again, next day I will go and I will try to make it more lighter. Okay. I hope this much is clear. Any questions, guys? Any questions? You can ask me. Scratching one, I will show you some other time.